What's up, guys? All these past back in my 6 months to Masters series, showing you all the replays that I've done so far. Trying to get these up daily so you guys can check them out. They're pretty quick reviews. If there's any game in particular you want to see a little more thoroughly looked at, or if you don't want to see them all and you'd rather just see highlights, drop a comment down below the videos and let me know. I do check all my comments and reply to as many of them as I can. Right now, with school winding down, I should have quite a bit more time. So let's get right into it. This is a TVP on Neo Planet S. I'm a bronze. It looks like he's an unranked, or maybe he's just doing his placement matches. Who knows? He's spawned down here in the bottom left. Let's get the appropriate tabs up. Staple your nuts. Good luck, have fun. And I'm up in the top right as the Blue Terran. And we'll just speed through the beginnings. Again, I'm just working on the 3 racks build. It's been effective for the most part for me. And I just want to get it hammered out good. And then I'll start playing with different builds. Maybe a Reaper Fast Expand type of build. And, some of the other, many builds that are in the game. So I have my SCV production going. I got my gas, my refinery going. Get my marine out. And as usual, grab my tech lab. Now, he's playing a little bit greedy. He goes for a super early expand right here. This is really early. I mean, he's going to have an expansion down before 5 minutes in for a Protoss. That's a bit early. As you can see right now, he's only got 2 zealots out, 15 workers. So he's skimping a bit on his army supply and worker production to get this down. So as far as buildings go, he's got 1 gateway. Hasn't started his gateway research yet. He might not be looking to get it. He might just be looking to crank out a few gateway units initially. But with the amount of gas he has, he could start getting his warp gate research done. So he positions his units out here, keeps the mothership core back, for the photon overcharge if he needs it. He's cranking out his SCVs, and that's working out. Let's pause this for 1 second. So, as you can see here, the 3 racks have already ramped up 15 Marines, 5 Marauders. He does have an Oracle. It's still here at his base. I don't know, the Stargate is back here in the back of his base. And as you can see from the mini-map, I'm starting to move out with my 15 and 5. Have about 20 units. Around 9 minutes or so, and I typically do my push back at home, fully saturated main on 1 gas, 3 racks, and I guess I was supply blocked, and I had an SCV down here ready to take my expand, but I must have needed the supply, I guess, or something. I don't know. It doesn't look like I needed it. I don't know why I'm building that. But in any case, let's slow it down and watch the initial engagement. And I have to figure out how to change this so you guys can't see that the game is almost over. I know Husky does it on his channel, Husky StarCraft. I watch his channel a lot. So anyway, let's get into the engagement. I have my units here. Focus fire down the mothership core. Go after the expansion. And this is a lot of units to his no units. So once the expansion goes down, he realizes that's it and he takes off. So, a quick one to start off the night. Well, start off the night's episode. This was somewhere in the line of games that I had. And let's see, Staple Your Nuts was there. So now we're going to play Havoc, a Zerg player. Again, looks like he's unranked, but he is 51. So he's played the game quite a bit. So again, this is probably a placement match for him as we're early in the season yet. And we're on whatever map this is. I forget. Does it show me on this? No. I don't remember. But it's this map with the bridge in the middle. So I spawn in the top right as the Red Terran. And Havoc is the Blue Zerg over here in the top left. And he sends out his Overlord immediately to come out and start scouting. We'll kick this up. And for the next episode, I'm going to figure out how he turns that off. So it's a little more of a surprise as to when the game ends. So, starting with our typical 3 racks. And what I'll do this time, guys, is I will get my SCV over here. And I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I get into the main, and let's pause this, and I auto route it here. Just in case I'm doing something here, my SCV will keep moving around instead of sitting still and possibly getting killed by a drone or whatever. But a lot of times I'll come over, I'll take control of the SCV, map him around a little bit to kind of look and see what I can see. So we'll play this at regular speed. Actually, that's a little slow. We'll speed it up. I'm looking for the spawning pool here. So as you can see, I'm keying commands around. The drone gets after me, so I come down, take a peek. I don't see an expansion. So I park the SCV there so I can go back in to get a little more intel. I'm still learning the maps, so his expand is actually over here. I'm over here building my units. I have a little trapped SCV down here. I find him. I bring him back home. Close him back up. And have him start dropping one of the barracks. I build another marine because I probably forgot to get guys in gas. Yes, I did. So I start getting another marine until I can afford my tech lab. So this SCV is just chilling over here for a little bit. And he's got his spawning pool. Kind of a weird place to put it. And what did he cancel right there? I have a feeling he dropped a second spawning pool. Let's take a look. Roach Warren. He had a Roach Warren going and he canceled it. It's interesting. So instead of a Roach Warren, he goes for the Baneling Nest. And I hate Banelings because I just don't know a good way of dealing with them yet. So finally I get the tech lab down. We have 3 racks. I need to research stim on that as soon as I have the money. Getting out my first Marauder. Getting my reactors to get my units. And again, SCV, he should be looking back in there now. He should go over here and make sure there's an expansion. And then peek in to see what kind of tech my opponent's going for. But now he's not going to make it in there with these Zerglings. He's probably not going to be able to run past it. He's probably already got Zergling speed. Yeah, Zergling speed just finished there. And now he gets the Evo chambers, dual Evo chambers, so we can start researching his upgrades. And army-wise, he's got cheap Zerglings, but I mean, I'd say we're probably about even. I'm probably a little bit ahead with this. Let's take a look at the army. Supply, I'm a little ahead army supply-wise right now. So we're closing in on 7.5 minutes. I have a total of 15 units, a couple more Marines. So it's time to make my push. Forgot a couple guys at home, but I'll get them in a second. He moves all his Zerglings down here, which I'm really not entirely sure why. I guess he's just dipping down out of the way. So I park my army in front of his base. He parks his army of nothing but Zerglings. And now they become Banelings. That's a lot of Banelings. Let's see, what is that? 6, 8, that's a lot. That's a lot. 13 Banelings. Alright, so let's pause here. So, he starts running up here. Because I'm moving my army out, I have the supply depot open, which means he can just run right in. If I had been able to see this and had this hotkeyed, which I don't, I have an engineering bay hotkeyed, but I should have hotkeyed the supply depot so I could close the door in the event that this happens. And I'm over here with some hurt units because he had something here. I don't know what that was, but it's dead now, whatever it was. So right now we're in an even type of situation. I'm going into his base, he's going into my base. So let's take a look real quick at what he does with his Banelings. I see the Banelings coming. I make the SCV pull, and I bring my army back to deal with this. I can't afford to lose them all. I'm trying to run them away. I lift my orbital so it doesn't get hit by a bunch of Baneling hits. I do have some money to make more SCVs, so I get my army back, and I manage to kill that off. Now, let's see behind this, what is he producing? His production. He's making 14 more Lings, so it looks like he's going to keep going Ling, Bane, to continue to try and press this aggression. Right now, our upgrades are even. I have stim. We're both 0-0. So after killing that off, I figured I've got to go back and attack because right now I have no economy. I have one SCV on the field and he's over by his base just chilling out for intel that I'm not getting. Like, I did not see that push come out or anything. And like I said, he went down here and then he came up. So smartly enough, he completely avoided my army because while it was Zerglings, I probably would have been able to kill it off. So What I do is I push right back across the map with what I have left of my army. I don't have any medevacs or anything. I don't have the SCVs, so this is probably going to burn down. So I'm making units out of these two with what money I do have, getting more SCVs back out of here. And what I do is I park the guys on the ramp. That way, if a bunch of Zerglings run in, as I move over, they would run into the front units, and my back units be able to kill them off. So I scan, I start killing some of these Zerglings, and then a whole bunch of stuff runs at me. I'm trying to micro away, but unfortunately, I get surrounded and my army dies again. So back here at home, I'm in some trouble. He gets up again, door is still wide open. Instead of just running in, he just, starts attacking it, and I just leave the game again. No GG, although he did play well. And, I couldn't hang with that. Those Banelings just destroyed me. And once he took out my economy, he was able to just, win with these early, easy to get gateway units, or not gateway, but you know what I'm saying. These hatch units that don't require a whole lot of tech other than a Baneling nest, which you can get very, very early. So again, when playing Zerg, I may need to figure out a slightly different strategy if I scout Banelings. I don't know, in that case you go to fast siege tanks, or what you do. If you guys want to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, or what I could try in that situation, that would be most appreciated. So we're going to take a look at one more tonight. This is a TBT versus Sephiroth. Again, looks like he's unranked. He may be doing his placements. I don't know. This is on Star Station. And good luck, have fun, GG. He GG's early. I guess he's just trying to get out of the way. I don't know. So, typical, again, working on the 3 racks. Get the units continuously producing SCVs, making sure I'm hitting my SCVs, making sure I get my macro. And, typical wall. Over here, he's doing the same thing, although he's pulled an extra SCV to build that supply depot. I guess it's a matter of personal preference. I'd rather not do that because I don't think I'm going to have any trouble. Even if an SCV gets in at this point, my Marine will be out and be able to kill it pretty quickly. I'm about to hit 300 minerals here. So I come over and I get my 2 racks down. I probably should have built that a little further back. I don't know if an SCV coming up against here can see that, but immaterial, pretty much down in the Bronze Leaks. And again, I forgot to put up the cool little thingies. So again, another greedy bit of a build. Well, it's not really greedy. I guess this is more standard defensive play. Around 5 minutes, you go for your expansion, which is pretty much what he did, so I can't call that a greedy build. He's starting to get his units out. I'm pulling a little bit ahead in units. Basically, the 3 racks build goes to get as many units as you can at around this time here. We'll pause it as I talk about this. As you can see, my units are already starting to move across the map. Basically, the tech switch tends to happen, from what I understand, around 10 minutes, where if you're going to go to heavier units, when you're going to start getting your upgrades, he's got 1-2 barracks, and he's got a factory here with a reactor. So he's probably making Widow Mines out of that, I would guess. Yes, he's got Widow Mines. And, so the 3 racks build tends to punish this kind of play. People that expand early expect to be going for a longer macro game. Again, it's not necessarily an all-in. You can transition behind this. I haven't as yet. I have started getting my +1. I'll get my 2nd gas so I can get my factory, get my starport. And you can transition to Marine tank out of this, which is typically the way that I go. There are other transitions you can do, but that's typically the one I like to go, is Marine tank medevac, get my upgrades, and then make a second push. But again, let's go ahead and watch as this happens. We'll slow it down and kill the guy at the Zelnaga. So he knows this is coming now, so I wait for my few straggling units here to catch up. And then we're going to go ahead and push across into his area. So I do a scan because I know there's probably going to be Widow Mines this time. And chew up that, and he just GG's immediately, knowing that he can't hold this off. So, Defensively, what he probably could have done was a lot like that the other Terran that I played earlier did. And instead of getting, once he got a couple of Widow Mines for defense out of here, or if he was going to drop with Widow Mines, he could have had them, the way he did. And then switch these two and get this onto the tech lab and start cranking out some siege tanks for more defense. Siege tanks work pretty well against this, as I have no healing. And especially if I pop the stim, as you can see I did, the health of the units drops down pretty quickly, and a few good siege tank hits with all that splash damage can kill this off pretty well. So just one way of defending the 3 racks that I think would work. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. What is this? Oh, I included the plates. The destructible plates. So anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying these as much as I'm enjoying playing the game and reviewing the replays with you. Again, any constructive criticisms are welcome. Please feel free to leave them down in the comments. I'm always looking to improve anything in the game. I've got a couple subs, mainly one, Folate, that he comes watches this live stream, helps make suggestions. I'm trying to improve based on what he says and based on things I read, and just playing and practicing. So hopefully, again, you guys are enjoying it. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.